Hi, my name's Kim. I'm an introvert that travels the world whilst being on a tight budget. And today I'm going to be giving you the top 10 ways to save you money on travel before you've even left the house. I know that booking travel can seem really daunting, and you know, that's why travel agents are about. But I want to give you some tips that you can take to try and save yourself some money whilst you're booking from home. Ways that you can save money before you've even left the house to get a cheaper holiday. This is going to be part 1 of a 2-part series, so make sure to subscribe so that you get notified when that comes out, which I think is coming out Monday, so you don't even have to wait many days for the second part anyway. So top 10 ways to save you money before you even left the house. Let's get into it. So the first way is to book early. A lot of airlines, what they do is basically they gradually ramp up the prices the closer it gets to the departure date. So if you know where you want to go and you're happy to book early, then that's your best bet. A lot of the budget airlines as well, what they do is they have a sort of a tiered system. You see a lot of airlines like Ryanair, EasyJet, they tend to do these where you have flights that are advertised at $9.99. And you're like, wow, how can they do it? How can you do it? Basically what they do is they release just a few tickets at the $9.99 price. And then the more people who book the tickets, the price slowly goes up. So if you're one of the last ones to book the flights, book the seats to those flights, you're going to have a much higher amount to pay than the ones that were sort of first in the gate to get those prices. The best thing I can recommend that you do then is to follow airlines on social medias, because they tend to announce when the next batch of new tickets are going to be released, so you can make sure that you're one of the first to get in there to get that low tier cheap tickets. I know that this next point is going to go against literally what I just said, but another way to save money whilst you're travelling is to book last minute. Book late. Websites such as lastminute.com, Holiday Pirates, and even package holiday places like TUI, they do late deals. So if you're more of a sort of I fancy going away at the weekend, or you know, 3 weeks time I feel like going to whatever, then you may be able to get a really cheap flight. If you know that you want to go away during a certain time and you've specifically booked it off work, I'm not quite sure if this is the best way to do things, because you might not end up getting a deal, you may end up being ripped off. But if you're a little bit more flexible with when you can go and where you want to go, you may be able to get yourself a proper deal. The reason you might be able to get a cheap late deal is because airlines might not have filled all their seats, or hotels might still have empty rooms, and rather than them just laying empty, they'd rather give it to somebody cheaper, because they'll still make money from it at the end of the day. Not the amount that they want, but they still make money, so they'd rather give it to you cheap and at least it's full. So the third way to save you money whilst you're booking is to use comparison websites. So what you do for your car insurance or your travel insurance, you can do the same for your flights. Websites such as Kayak, Skyscanner, even Google Flights will go through and compare different airlines to each other, give you the price, and then what you do is you click on it and it takes you to the third-party website for you to book. There are also companies such as Jack's Flight Club, who you pay a minimal fee to, and they'll email you deals. So basically they do the scouring for you. They find the deals and then they email them to you. Basically they do all the legwork for you, so rather than you searching for things, they look for things for you, and you can get some absolute bargains. The fourth way to save you money before you leave is to be flexible. I mentioned Kayak and Skyscanner before, but these are really good websites for you to use if you're flexible, to be able to get some really good deals. You'll see that I've been on some really cheap holidays to Madrid and Venice. The Madrid one specifically, all I did was tell the website that I wanted to fly from London Gatwick between these certain dates, and it gives you this map that shows you all the different locations you can fly to and how much the tickets are. If you're not overly bothered about where you go, this could be a really good way to get a really cheap deal, because when I booked to go to Madrid, I didn't have any idea of where I wanted to go. I literally just looked at the map and went, oh, that doesn't look too bad, and I clicked and I booked it. What I'm going to do now is show you how it works. So let's go on the computer. Okay, so I'm at my desk now and I'm going to show you how to use Kayak. So Kayak's a price comparison flight website that it's my favourite price comparison flight website to use essentially. And I want to show you how best to use it, or how I best utilise it. So we're going to pretend we are flying from London. So to get all of the London airports included in your search, type in LON and that should grab all of the London airports. And I want to go to anywhere. I don't mind where I'm going. I just want to see all of the flights and all of the available flights for, I'm just going to choose random dates. I'm going to choose a 4 nights away over November. Brilliant. Let's have a search. And now the search brings up a map, and on the map it shows you all of the different places you can go and how much it is. We're a little bit zoomed out. There's some on the side. You can see you can change the filters, so if there's a certain price that you don't want to go over, you can change the filter. I normally run my budget right down. I'm really cheap, so let's go for £85. So now it's showing me all the flights that are under £85 in basically from London that weekend we were talking about. I can zoom in a bit and it'll show me more airports. But we can go to Paris for £60 that weekend, or we can go to Rome for 53. We can go to Madrid. Like there's loads of places we can go. We got all the way down to the islands down here for £54. But I've decided that I don't want to go that weekend. I'm not particularly fussy about what weekend I go. So I'm going to now go, I want to go during November sometime. And I want to go for 4 days. Where can I go? And we've still got that £85 budget on as well. And now anytime in November I can go to Poland for £42. I've decided that I like the look of that Poland flight, so I'm going to click on it. Check prices. And now it's showing me where they've got the information from, so basically what airlines are going to be giving me those flights at that price. And if I've decided that I really like the look of this one here, so this is Wizz Air flying in and out, view deal, and it'll take me to the third party website for me to book. And it's as easy as that. I've just managed to find flights return from, where are we going, from London to Poland for £39, and it took me 3 minutes. And that's why Kayak is my favourite website. You could do something similar on Skyscanner as well, I've heard, but when you start using one thing and it works for you, even though other people tell you to use other websites, you tend to stick with the one that you know. So back to the video. Now, please note that the cheapest travel days are usually a Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, so if you're willing to be flexible around those dates, you could get yourself a bargain too. Another way to save money before you've even travelled is to look at regional airlines or budget airlines. A lot of these airlines don't actually show their results or the prices on comparison websites, so you'll have to go and have a look yourself. But it may be a way to save you money just booking direct with them. Just be aware that some of these tickets won't even include hold luggage, and some airlines won't even include any sort of decent sized hand luggage either. Ryanair is a good example of this. So if you book the basic ticket, all you get is to take a small bag. You don't get to take a sort of a case, wheelie case. You've got to pay extra for that. So this is the case, this is a bag. That fits Ryanair's small bag rule. And I find that I can fit about 5 days worth of stuff in there. And I mean, this is including very minimal filming kit for me as well. 5 days in a bag like this. So if you can get away with not having to pay extra for your luggage and you're happy to travel really lightly, then the budget airlines may be a good choice for you. Another way to save you money before you leave is to book your luggage beforehand or go luggage free. Like I said in the last part, some airlines do charge extra for you to take hold luggage or even hand luggage. So if you can take not much, then obviously they'll save you the most money. But if you've decided that you need a hold luggage, then book this at the same time as you're booking your ticket. Because even if you decide to book it later on separately, they may still charge you more. And just be aware, if you do book your luggage at the airport, you are going to be paying a premium. You will be paying a very heightened price for your luggage. Some airlines, such as Virgin Atlantic, have tiers within their classes. So their classes are economy, premium and upper class. And within economy they have light, classic and delight. And depending which tier you decide to book, depends on the amount of luggage that you have. So if you decided to go light, you don't get any hold luggage. If you decided to go delight, you get more hold luggage, plus you get extra legroom. So have a look to see if they've got a tiered system within certain classes, and this may be the cheapest way for you to book your luggage, rather than booking without luggage. So booking a light and then upgrading afterwards, you may get charged extra. Another way to save you money whilst you're travelling is to do a multi-stop trip rather than flying direct. So basically using different airlines to do different jumps or different legs of your journey. This means that you can essentially go to a place, have a little explore and then move on to the next place, eventually ending up in your destination. Obviously this is good if you're not in a particular rush to get somewhere, but be aware, if you end up booking one airline to connect to another airline, and the first one you're delayed on, and you end up missing your second flight, the airlines won't take any responsibility over anything. Essentially, you're going to lose money on that second flight, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get from that first flight to your second flight. If not, too much time. Even better, give yourself an overnight layover. The odds of you being delayed that long are quite slim, she says after being delayed for a day coming back from San Francisco. But you're giving yourself a better chance of being able to hop from one airline to another without it being so much of a bother. Make sure you have really good insurance though, just in case one of those hops does end up not going ahead. Another way to save money whilst you're travelling is having a look at different airports. A good example of this is London. Did you know that there are 6 regional airports just for London? They've got London Gatwick, London Heathrow, London Stansted, London City, London Southend and London Luton. 6 airports for you to choose from to go into London. Some airports will be cheaper to fly into than others. Stansted and Luton tend to have a reputation of being the cheaper ones to fly into, but are a little bit harder to get into London City itself. Whereas Gatwick and Heathrow have really good connections to the city centre, but again tend to be a little bit more expensive. So it's whether you're willing to pay more on your flight for ease to get into the city, or you're happy to pay less for your flight but it'd be a little bit more of a nuisance to get into the city. And this could be true about a lot of cities. A lot of cities have, you know, 2 or 3 regional airports that you can fly into. Just have a look at the price from the 2 airports and see if it's worth the extra travel to get into the city from it, to save yourself some money. If you are going to be searching for London arrivals or departures though, just remember to type in LON, so L-O-N, into any searches, and that should bring up all of the London airports under one little search term. If you're flexible with when you're travelling, then travelling out of peak season would be best for you. So I'm talking about spring and autumn, maybe even winter in some places. In the more traditional hot and sunny summer places to visit, the summer tends to be the busiest, especially in Europe, because that's when a lot of the schools are closed and a lot of families go on holidays, so companies ramp up the prices. Be aware though that there are usually reasons why travelling during some off-peak seasons are cheaper. For example, Greece, Rhodes. if you travel there during the winter, you're probably not going to find much open. A lot of the tourist attractions will be closed because a lot of the Greeks either go home for the winter or they go travelling for the winter. They work during the summer, they relax during the winter, so a lot of places are going to be closed. So just be aware, if you go somewhere like that, you might not find much open, but then you might be able to get a deal if you're happy, you know, as that as a compromise. But then some places, the reason why their off season is so cheap is maybe because the weather's not so good. Maybe they have a rainy season, so you might get a really cheap deal going somewhere, but the reason it's cheap is because the weather's going to be horrific whilst you're there. The good thing though is if you're travelling to Wales, it's pretty grotty most of the time. Like the whole year is a rainy season, so if you're coming to Wales, bring your umbrella. There's no peak time, it's just rain all the time. The last tip I have for you is using loyalty schemes. So a lot of airlines or credit cards will offer you air miles, essentially that you spend money and for however much you spend they give you miles which you can then use to pay for a ticket or pay for a ticket or pay for an upgrade. But essentially it's like a currency that you can use just to spend on airline tickets. Another loyalty scheme that I know a lot of people maybe haven't thought about, and this is going to be more specific for the UK, is using your Tesco Club Card vouchers. Did you know that some companies will let you basically take the amount that you have in Tesco Club Card vouchers and give you 3 times that amount? One good example of this is Megabus. So with Megabus, I've paid to go from Wales to Ireland £1.63. That's a return ticket now. And I paid just over £1 to get a return travel ticket from Birmingham to Edinburgh. How did I do this? I used my Tesco Club Card vouchers. So you go on their website, you basically redeem the vouchers that you have, the vouchers that you get through the post, so you can take them to the shop and you can spend them, or you can go on the Tesco website and you can get like new vouchers for different companies. So you can get, say you had like £1 worth of Tesco Club Card vouchers, you can change this to £3 worth of Megabus vouchers. I then use that money to pay for my tickets. Tesco Club Card isn't just Megabus though. There are loads of different companies that do it. So if this is something that you're interested in, have a look at the Tesco website and have a look at all the different companies that you can get vouchers for. I know that the National Express, you can do it, I think hotel.com possibly. There's a load of places like Centre Parks in the UK you can get these tickets for. So have a look, it's well worth it. And I don't shop in Tesco's usually. The only things that I buy there is fuel if I'm passing and sandwich meal deals. So it's not even like I spend a lot of money there. And 6 months worth of collecting managed to get me 2 trips. So it's worth having a look at. Definitely. The Points Guy is a good resource to be able to find out more about utilising miles and points. They can explain it all better than I can, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link in the description down below to the Points Guy site. I hope you found this video useful. There are plenty of ways that you can save money on travel before you've even left the house. If there are any points that I've forgotten or you know of any tips that'll help other people, then please leave it in the comments down below because I'm always looking for new ways to save money whilst travelling. Monday's video will be how to save money on travel once you've left your house. So essentially travelling to the airport at the airport once you get to your destination. So make sure to subscribe and to ring that notification bell so that you're told when I release that new video. But for now, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you again. Enjoy your life. Ta-da!